The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most anticipated video games in recent memory. I can only really think of a handful of other games that were so highly anticipated and as far as sequels are concerned. And this is a game, guys, that has had and seen a number of delays, and it's really unfortunate, but the most recent one could be, very telling, because it's hard to say when we might see this game come out, because it's been put on an indefinite hiatus at this point and postponed indefinitely. So what does that mean? Well, let's talk about it. So guys, obviously, this was a game that was announced in December of 2016, was scheduled for release on May 29th of 2020, but was delayed indefinitely due to the pandemic that's been going on in our world. Now, what we will say is this. The Last of Us Part 2 was originally scheduled for release on February 21st, 2020, but was delayed to May 29th, 2020 in October of 2019. Sony announced 4 editions, a standard, special, collector's, and an LE edition. Different editions come with different collector's items, as well as items and unlocked abilities in Part 2, and a bonus for pre-ordering the game. On April 2nd, Naughty Dog announced that The Last of Us Part 2 was almost complete, but had been indefinitely delayed due to logistical problems caused by the pandemic. So, you know what, guys? It's really unfortunate that, The Last of Us, as well as so many other, games out there that have been postponed indefinitely. It's unfortunate that this happened. I feel like, here's what I feel. I feel like this could have been a huge opportunity for a game like The Last of Us to actually sell a ton of copies, probably mainly digitally and such, if they would have released it, like in the normal slot that it was supposed to come out, May 29th of 2020. I feel personally that it actually might have done pretty well as far as from a sales standpoint, because everyone is stuck at home currently, and sure, maybe they weren't able to, maybe it was logistically, like they just weren't going to be able to deliver on all of the fronts that they were planning on doing with this game. But in my opinion, I feel like there was kind of a missed opportunity, potentially. We don't know, we'll never know if it would have sold even better than it would have, if it would have, would come out at a later time this year or sometime in 2021, if it were to have just been released May 29th of 2020. I have reason to believe, though, guys, that it actually would have sold really well, because everyone's at home. We're looking for things to do. Everyone's doing, Netflix, or everybody's playing other video games. This could have been an opportunity that there was a huge AAA title coming out and everyone's talking about it. Everyone's at home, and even people who aren't even, fond of playing video games, they might see those commercials that are on TV or wherever and the ads that are going on, and, they decide to download the game from the PlayStation Store, or they end up ordering it, from Amazon or somewhere. I feel like it could have been a big opportunity for not only Naughty Dog, but PlayStation as a whole, because everybody's stuck at home. However, where is The Last of Us Part 2? Obviously, the pandemic has happened, so what we're just mentioning now with it coming out May 29th is irrelevant, because, it's already been postponed indefinitely. So, when will we see this game come out? Guys, I feel like part of me thinks that the game's going to come out later on in 2020. However, there's going to be a big slate of big games coming out later this year. At least that's what it seems like. You got, of course, Call of Duty. You've got Watch Dogs Legion. You just got a ton of games, right, that are coming out from Ubisoft. All the big publishers and such have games coming out later this year. And so a game like The Last of Us Part 2 wants to be able to stand out. It would have stood out in May, that is for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said, we're going to postpone this until May of 2021. That would not be something that I would be surprised about. I'm kind of glad that they didn't give us another date. They're just saying that it's indefinitely delayed, because they don't want to, they've already delayed it a couple of times, so they probably don't want to say it's going to come out later this year and then it gets delayed again. So My opinion is that they should just wait until it's done, it's ready to go, and then set a date. Set it for, May of 2021, so they have plenty of time to work on it. Things have kind of calmed down in the world, and then there you have it. It's ready and slated. And that's my personal opinion, guys. I think that at this point, it was a missed opportunity bringing it out in May. We'll never know, though. But this will give maybe the world enough time to kind of, have things maybe settle down a little bit. And this will give it some time that they can continue working on it, make sure everything's done and all those loose ends, they have everything that they need to are in place and ready to go for the release, say, May of 2021. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear from all of you guys. That's where I think The Last of Us Part 2 is. It's currently still, things are being finished up for the most part, and they're just going to now need to wait to be able to start the marketing, and all of those things to get this as much exposure as possible so they can deliver this to the masses, say later this year or early 2021. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are you the most excited about with The Last of Us Part 2? And where do you guys think this game is at this point? Do you think that it's going to come out this year, next year? When do you guys think it's going to release? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Last of Us Part 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.